Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Bill Callahan fan club president, Jake Bakoven.
I love Billy.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Hold up.
Happy Thursday to everybody out there. It is a Thursday, one of our favorite days here on the block. I'm Jake Bachman. He's the Husker Hall of Famer, longtime NBA vet, Eric Strickland, and we are on the block ready to entertain and talk some sports for the next couple hours. Excited today to have Clester Johnson, former Husker, of course, join us around 5:25, so we'll be looking forward to that as well. Today's been a weird day of news that actually isn't news, and we just kind of go back on it, whether that be somewhat locally with kind of the roster changes in what they're calling the positions. There was a story about the ACC that everybody wanted to run with Swam, just some swimming Twitter account that started it off. That threw everybody off board on that. And then there was the fact that we get to later too. There was a report that Colin Kaepernick was going to invest in the Big Three and try to save that league, and he didn't take long to say, "No, that's not true. I'm not doing that. That'd be ridiculous."
Boy, there's a lot of fake news out there.
A lot of swerves today.
That's the crazy thing about it, right? And that's why you come to the block, because you're getting that real deal, authentic, Holyfield type info that we draw out, and bring out. But at the end of the day, you really have to sift through the manure of news sometimes and just really try to figure it out, because people do throw some stuff off the wall. And it feels like when I was a kid, we used to play this game, Bot, called Ding Dong Ditch.
Oh, yes.
And it feels like news right now is a bunch of ding dong ditching.
Yeah.
You go in, you pull up, ring the doorbell, they think somebody's there, and they go down the street somewhere.
Oh, there's nobody there.
Yeah. So we used to play crazy games in college that I can't even remember the name of it. And, it was a bunch of us crazy freshmen. Sometimes we get the football players involved. We go up and down floors, sneak up and down the stairs. And what we would do is we would fill up a bucket of water. And we would go to their door, ding dong ditch them, knock on the door, lean the bucket against
the door.
Against the door.
Oh,
so
no.
when they open it, water starts flooding there. We're gone, and we're running, and we're chasing each other, and we're playing that game all throughout the freaking dorms and in the the floor monitors and all that stuff are bad as heck at you. And so we're doing childish
You added
games.
a level to the doorbell.
Yeah, we added an extra level. I mean, it got close. People was like wanting to fight it.
Yeah,
it was ready to throw bombs.
Did you have to like stay and want to see the reaction, or like look back as you're running, or what?
Sometimes you want them to know that it was you. You know what I mean? Because if you got me, I'm getting you, and it ain't gonna be the same day. It's gonna be like a week or two down the road.
Yeah, because you got to stay on your feet.
Especially when you think you got a honey coming over or something. Think you got a honey coming. It's gonna be a honeycomb of water just falling all through your crib.
So what I did want to get into, just to start off with, the Husker roster changes. Just kind of addressing what modern football is more than anything. I think it's not necessarily unique to Nebraska's defense, but they've kind of, at least on their official roster on Huskers.com, kind of categorizing some of their positions a little bit differently. And I don't want to dive too deep into it to think, okay, now there's an edge spot and a nickel spot at Nebraska, specifically designated, because there is. And I understand that, but at the same time, like, the defensive tackles are differentiated from the defensive linemen or the defensive ends. The safeties aren't differentiated from the defensive back. So it's just maybe it's overreaction to just a team roster when they're just kind of like, just categorize them this way. We'll see how it kind of plays out on the field. Because when you have a depth chart, you're going to have safeties. You have to have safeties on the field. Not everybody can just be defensive backs. So, or cornerbacks. You're going to have a differentiator back there. So, we'll just kind of see how it plays out. But do you like kind of the updated look of it to have, as edge rushers are kind of taking over the game? The NFL has become more and more of a passing league, more and more of an offensive league. And the biggest stars, and you kind of talked about this the other day, on defense in the NFL, maybe are more the edge rushers, the TJ Watts. Aaron Donald's up the middle, but I mean he's effective enough at getting to the quarterback, and they can flex him out there. Yeah. But obviously like the Von Millers and all those sorts of guys. And it maybe is going to overshadow something we talked about yesterday is like the Micah Parsons or the guys that don't play that edge spot that can stand out and be great, but are they as impactful, and how much more do you kind of prepare for them, specifically game plan for them going into a game? The edge rusher is vital in modern football. Nebraska now getting O'Shawn Mathis, a guy that we believe to be a true pass rusher, which might open up the doors for some of those other guys. Obviously, if he takes on double teams or just draws more attention, they've got Caleb Tanner. They got, Garrett Nelson that can seemingly kind of play that second fiddle, maybe a little bit better than be the lead edge rusher. But do you like, first of all, just kind of bringing that in, because there is this confusion of Nebraska playing some 3-4, some 4-3, some 4-2-5 or whatever, some 5-2, and it all just it's just like, okay, well then who's a defensive end and who's an outside linebacker? And sometimes maybe we get too much into that just to say they're kind of playing the same position. They're an edge rusher.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a purist, if you're a Nebraska purist, you understand that this used to be what they call I back you.
Right.
Those no longer exist in the scheme of what Nebraska is. It's just an RB. You're just a running back.
Right.
Same thing with wide receivers. Wide receivers back in the day, Clester Johnson, who will be joining us, was a wing back. You know what I mean? So the style of offenses have changed. They used to call them split ends. They also used to also line up with their hand down. That was the old purist Nebraska style of football. And then also, you had your Toby Wrights and others like that. Your Mike Mentors, they were called Jamel Williams. They were called rovers. They were called, they weren't safety, so to speak. And so when you look at what, Shenander had created with JoJo Doman, the style of play, he's a hybrid. I think that kind of hindered him in his draft status in a sense, because his hybrid status, you didn't know if he was a safety, you didn't know if he was a linebacker, you don't know how you can play him. I think he's an outside linebacker coverage guy, but nonetheless, that kind of gave some hesitancy, plus the injuries, obviously. But yeah, when you look at what they're doing, I think they're simplifying the method. I mean, right now, the style is obviously not going to be centered or honing around a 3-4 style or a 4-4 style or a 4-3 style. It's not going to be one of those things. So therefore, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, that they're running a 3-4. Bud Dupree and those type of guys, Bud Dupree types and TJ Watt types, they're edge guys, even though really you could say they're linebackers or outside linebackers, so to speak, in that style of offense or defense. So I think it's simplifying the method. Obviously, it's going to create a lot of linebackers. I think upwards of 24 now or something like that.
Yeah, if you count edge as linebackers.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you're adding that to be, as well as linebackers or so forth and so on, then you're going to have that number. Same thing with the nickelback. I think that their style, they're going to be able to move around, and they have a lot of different guys that can play diversity style of positions. Some guys that are big enough that can possibly move down and be like an outside linebacker, so to speak, in a 4-3 with a coverage aspect to it, or they could be a defensive back and cover slot guys. I just don't know. I'm hoping there's a guy in there that can cover the likes of Smith and Jigba, but I mean, that's going to be a needed piece.
A lot of teams that don't have a quarterback that can cover
exactly. So it's not having a corner, not having a safety, 24 DBs listed on the roster. That's a lot, but at the end of the day, if you're going to move them around, maybe some corner guys play safety. Maybe you have 4 corners playing and 1 safety over the top, then that minimizes the labeling. It minimizes, and it makes you become better in all aspects of your game. That's the only thing I can think about it becoming, is that you want all players to not be honed in or focused in on one specific aspect of coverage, and you make them so diversified that they can move all over the place if they need to, or they can come down and blitz. If they're blitzing, DB, then they move down and do that. If they're coverage DB, they come down and squat and do that. If they're just an over the top type of guy and don't have really that speed to footwork to keep up, then he's a DB that just happens to be playing deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it simplifies it for Shenander in some ways.
Well, and it's interesting too, because when you also include the nickel position, which there's also confusion on that, just because if you look at the Husker roster on your cell phone, obviously it doesn't have as much space, so it just calls it the Nick position. And I think it's short for nickel, because when you look at the desktop version, it says nickel. But we've seen, as this roster update has happened, publications go out and say, yeah, there's the Nick and the edge position. I don't know if that's like they're purposely. I don't know if there is a Nick Saban position.
Nick Edge Saban? Oh, no.
I don't know.
Is there a Saban position too?
I don't know if there's a Nick position at all. I think that just maybe is short for nickel.
Are they throwing slights at Alabama? No, I'm just playing.
But it's just confusing too, because when you think of a nickel, that's typically used for the third cornerback, the 5-2-5 type of thing. Yeah, similar to when you think of a dime, that's a fourth cornerback, right? Mm-hmm. So it's typical, for football terminology. That's how it is. But with the way that they've run it, and with JoJo Domann kind of playing what this Nick or nickel position is, it kind of confuses it a little bit, because you have nickel guys like Chris Kolarovich who are bigger than edge rushers.
Right.
So it's like, is he a third corner type? And then your edge rushers are like Caleb Tanner's 220. Kolarovich is listed at 225. I know it's a minimal difference. It's not that big of a difference, but usually you're kind of thinking there from, a guy that maybe lined up as a defensive end in a, in a 4-3, compared to Kolarovich, who, our nickel position, I should say, which is usually a defensive back. It's kind of opening your eyes to a degree of the way that Nebraska is using that position, or the success of JoJo Domann is what I'm really impressed by, is because they have Chris Kolarovich, they have Javin Wright, Isaac Giffords, who's a little bit smaller, and maybe could play like more of a safety. They have a few guys listed at safety or at this nickel position that are bigger guys that you would typically think as linebacker types. And I don't know if they're trying to force that, or if Kolarovich or Javin Wright or one of these guys can replace what JoJo did for you. Certainly you hope right. So. Certainly you wish so. Yeah. He was such a great piece for you, regardless of whether the fact he got drafted or not. We could see it out there on the field. And I don't know if you can just kind of force that, but it seems like they have enough confidence in some of the guys that they have playing that position, that they included it and they switched them on the roster. I mean, to me, that's good news. It's like, okay, so I have enough faith, and they've been working on this obviously in the spring to say we can carry this over. This isn't necessarily just JoJo stood out. If you remember back in like 2009, 2010, they had the Peso defense, which was Eric Haig and Dejon Gomes were kind of that third corner, but they could come up and pop you. And so it was just kind of this, people kind of thought of as a new weapon, this positionless spot. And then like after they left, the Peso position just kind of fizzled out because they don't have Eric Giggs and Dejon Gomes, guys that are that versatile to just play that position. And that's what I'm kind of wondering about JoJo's position. But I think, again, good news that they listed in it. They kind of have this JoJo position now listed out where they have linebacker types playing in it, to give me, because if they do have a guy that can play like that, it obviously is a Swiss Army knife for your defense.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely, when they say hybrid, that's what it's going to be. I think what you'll just find, I think it's going to be very formational driven from the offensive standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. If you're playing in Iowa, you're going to see a lot of 2 tight end type sets, and that position, that hybrid position, may be more towards a Gifford, a Bullock, maybe a Stinger type Buddha. You know what I mean? It may be more tailored to that bigger side of them. If they're playing Ohio State, it may be more towards a Kolarovic and more towards a Javin Wright. It may be more blitz zone blitz dominated with more zone coverages, possibly, unless you're doing a switch off coverage where you're basically, chucking the slot guy, releasing him off to the next guy at the next level, getting down on that tight end or getting out in that flat area on some running back coverage or something, where that's where it's going to be, or maybe running them off the edge on a blitz. You know what I mean? You got O'Shawn Mathis that's going to require some extra eyes possibly on the outside, hopefully, where you may have that nick position on that same side where you can run some good blitz action off that side if you're, getting a little bit of eyes on that side of the ball from him. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things that they'll be able to do with those position changes. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to pan out. I'm hoping that the fans show up out there in Ireland. It seems like some numbers right now are not very strong, but I'm hoping that there's enough out there to see it, and if not, to be at the TVs watching it. So them what we talked about yesterday, them doggone rating numbers go up. We're hoping it's one of the two.
I think week 0 would definitely help draw in the ratings. As I mentioned yesterday, it helped for the Illinois game last year, which otherwise would be kind of lost and not get that sort of number. I think they had like 3 million watch it last year. So
we're in a recession, baby.
Yeah,
people.
Are you a little underwhelmed by the 9,000 Nebraska tickets at this point sold?
I still think that's a pretty good number to be going over to Ireland.
Right. You're going halfway around the world.
You know what I mean? 9,000 tickets sold. I think there may be some late bloomers if you may get into that first part of August, and maybe if tickets. I think that's one of the things. I mean, tickets are crazy right now. You've got different types of strikes or different types of layoffs or different, a lot of airline pilots during the COVID situation kind of took their hiatus and broke camp. So there's just not as many flights going as probably they would have been. And so the prices are through the roof. Gas is through the roof. You got all these things that you're dealing with, and people are dealing with stuff at home. Let's just be honest about it. I mean, food costs are up. All kinds of stuff is up.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the totality of all that thing, I mean, you're like, I'll wait. I'll wait, because you don't really know, right? If you knew that there was probably a perennial Husker team coming back, like say outside of 94 or 97, when you knew they just coming off that type of schedule and you're excited about what's to come. We've been propped up so much. We feel like the Cowboys. I think the Nebraska Cornhusker fans probably feel like the Cowboy fans right about now. Every year they're propped up, pushed up, booted up to feel like you're about to freaking win that next one, right?
Yeah.
You're on your way. And that's 20 years now. And so all of a sudden you get pushed up, propped up to be let down.
Yeah, only so many times can it fool you.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think that's kind of what's going on. I just think that they're still they're like, I'll wait till they come back. I'll watch it at home maybe and just kind of peek in on it, make sure it is what I think I'm seeing. Because if I'm telling you, if they take a loss in that first one, oh my god,
oh man, especially I mean years of planning for this.
Oh.
Maybe not. I don't know. I kind of want to get like somebody that's from the university that kind of could tell us what are the expectations. But even that is difficult to do because they're not going to want to try to make it sound like it was like they're on pace. I mean, it would just be kind of difficult to get a straight answer out of what they were expecting. I think like you said, I think 9,000 still impressive. It's just not the takeover from Nebraska fans that I think you were maybe hoping for. But I mean, like you said, there's a lot playing into it right now. And I've just kind of always felt I don't want to belittle it at all because I love the fact that Nebraska, it is in my mind, one of the few brands that could travel halfway across the world and garner that attention. But I just always kind of felt like if I went to Ireland, I'd want it to, you don't just want to go there for the game. It's not like a weekend trip. If you're going to go to Ireland and go to Europe, you want to stay there for 2 weeks. And so like one of those days could be a Nebraska game or whatever. But I just always kind of feel like if I went to Ireland, I'd want to do more of the European things than something that I do at home. Maybe if it was a bigger game, I'd be more interested. But like Nebraska Northwestern, I think that probably knocks down some of the ticket sales.
It may be underwhelming. Yeah, it may be underwhelming.
Both teams were 3-9 last year. For that was worth. But That's where it stands, and they're at 9,000 tickets for Nebraska, 3,000 for Northwestern. They're expecting the locals to get quite a bit more. They're still hoping to get around 36,000 people in the stands there. Kind of looking at past Ireland games, they've had a little bit more. Like Penn State UCF in 2014 had about 53,000. So it doesn't look like it's going to catch that type of number. But it'll be interesting either way. I don't care. Like I love that kind of nerdy stuff, like the attendance, the ratings, that sort of stuff. I just love it, and I love to dive into it. But at the end of the day, I can't wait for Nebraska football as usual. But a Nebraska football game in Ireland is unique. It's special. It's obviously not going to happen every year. I know we've been waiting for it for a couple of years, and those years have not been kind to you on the field. So it's kind of diminished it a little bit, but it's a special occasion, and it's going to be fun, regardless of like me. I'm not going to Ireland, but I will still have fun enjoying it from afar. Let's take a quick break here on the block and get to our usual Thursday special. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer of Meyer's Cork and Bottle. We'll see what he brings in. He had pickle beer for us last time. I think I was the only one in the studio that enjoyed it. I think it just tastes like pickle juice. That's about it. You can hardly taste any alcohol in it. And I do like pickles. But we'll see what we have coming up here with Kevin Meyer of Meyer's Cork and Bottle on Thirsty Thursdays on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Showers and thunderstorms can be expected throughout much of the morning with a flash flood watch in effect as locally heavy rainfall will be possible. Later this afternoon, topping out near 85 with northeast winds at 10. Tonight, partly cloudy, just a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms with a low of 71. And tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsuranceNE.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Pop, pop. I heard it.
A little more of a click.
Like Marvin Gaye said, I heard it through the grapevine. Won't you be mine?
This is Thirsty Thursday here on the Block on 93.7 The Ticket. Our Thursday special with Kevin Meyer of Meyer's Cork and Bottle. He brings in us something delicious to drink. Actually, two things. And so we try it out and let you know where you can get it, which is obviously Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. Hey, Strick, what was Jeremiah?
What was Jeremiah?
Yeah. Same song, man. Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Oh, Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Yeah, I love that. That's right. Okay, talk to me. Tell me what it's about.
Well, what we're going to do first, I think appropriately so, is a beer called Dad Jokes, because that's pretty much what we just did. And it's from our good friends at Cross String Brewing in Papillion, Nebraska.
Hey, local. And it's got a hop on the front with socks and sandals, grilling steaks and burgers. And it's a hazy IPA, which hazy just means that it's an unfiltered style. And IPA stands for India Pale Ale, where they dry hop the ale at the finish, and it ups the alcohol content, adds a little bit of bitterness, and these guys just seem to check all the boxes, in my opinion, when it comes to their beer making. I haven't had one from them that I didn't like, but this is going to have some little pop to it. So it's got a hop on the front and a pop on the back.
Yeah, that's right, a hop pop.
Hop pop.
I had to show the stream what you meant, because you just kind of casually said it's got a hop cooking, and I was like, what does that mean? What? There's no hop.
It's actually really good. Yeah. How much is that?
So
hop pop cost?
Those come in 4-packs. I believe they're about $10, a 4-pack, $10-12, something right around in there. And then we also have them on our mix of 6 singled out, so you can buy one at a time if you'd like.
What is the content inside?
Those
like how much in like if I'm going $10, because I'm looking in our refrigerator right now, and listen, we're on the block, so we can talk about this because we keeps it real on the block. I go over to the refrigerator, I'm seeing some garbage in there.
Hey, come on. It's beer water is what it is. It's your typical beer water brand.
The stuff that makes, listen, I'm trying to keep it tight, right and tight. I go in there and drink that stuff. I'm coming out with a freaking what's his name that played baseball? The John Kruk. I'm coming out with a Kruk belly. I can't afford a Kruk belly. Tell me about how good that stuff is.
Well, the nice thing about these is that you wouldn't want to drink like 5 of them. You'd probably just be about one and done. These aren't too high in ABV. They're 5.9%, but it is a full 16-ounce can. So we call them tall girls.
No, not tall boys, but tall girls.
Tall girls, yes. And
sexy.
Just a good, easy drinking beer. Not overly hoppy. Doesn't have a lot of like adjuncts like lactose or fruit added to it. It's just a good solid beer.
Oh yeah. And how much do you try to get the local breweries, I suppose, into Myers Cork and Bottle?
We try to support local as much as possible. I mean, we're a small family owned outfit that's local, and so any of our Nebraska breweries that are available, we tend to carry them and favor those over national brands. So if someone comes in saying, hey, I want a good IPA, I'm going to recommend a Nebraska IPA before I recommend anything else, not only because I'll put our quality up against anybody, but it's Nebraskans supporting Nebraskans, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, but it really has kind of exploded over the last decade or so. But especially in Nebraska, how does that compete with kind of the region, and then I guess just all together? Because I mean, this is good stuff.
I would say we might not have the quantity of microbreweries that other states have, but I would say I will number one, put our quality up against anybody, but number two, like per capita, I imagine that we're right up there. So, while Colorado, probably has 200 more microbreweries than what we have, they also probably have, that much more population too.
Downtown Scott off the text line says there is no one and done beer, so he thinks he maybe could get through 5 of these.
Yeah, just wait till you're 51 there, broski.
Yeah, Nick, you're recovering a little bit. You said not now, not now,
not anymore.
You're a little,
but it took a couple
you're
days.
Kind of getting into the age where it might sting a little,
which
bit,
is not good because I'm only 21. I turned 21 back in February, so if that's the case, then that's not really good. If I'm already hitting the mark where it takes a couple days for my body to stop aching, but here we are. So,
well, you don't know your limits until you test them.
That's a good point, and maybe I can change my limits and make them greater if I just keep on trying.
I've said this before on the show. A wise man once told me, he said, "Kevin, drink twice as good and half as much, and you'll have a happy life."
That's actually true. I've found that out. I have found that out.
Kevin, did you have a fun 4th of July weekend before we get into the next drink?
Yeah, sure did. Mostly just kind of chilled with the wife and the dogs at home. We have a new puppy, and so we've just been, working with him a little bit and hanging out at the pool and played some games. Had some friends in town from Dallas, and then my in-laws get way into it. I think my brother-in-law probably spends $2 or $3 grand on fireworks.
There you go.
And they just go, and then of course she does the full shebang with fried chicken and cowboy beans and pulled pork and fruit and homemade ice cream, and so it's a good time.
Now, Kevin, I said this on my show on Monday: is don't spend the money on fireworks. Find people that spend money on fireworks and hang out with them.
I'm just not the kind of guy that likes to light my money on fire.
I agree.
And but I'll come hang out and watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I'm sitting.
How'd the pup do with the fireworks? Some of them are. My dog seemingly is like old enough he doesn't care anymore, I guess.
Well, we live out in the country, and so there weren't really anybody lighting them off. But our neighbors did light off a few, and didn't seem to bug them at all. So, and the older pup, he's 5. He just kind of like acts like he doesn't even hear it, and then the younger one was just like, well, if he's cool, I'm cool.
Cool. Yeah, I can't show him any weakness. What do we have we're coming up here drinking?
This is interesting. So this is a wine from Portugal, and we don't do this very often, but sticking with this sort of hot weather theme, it's a wine from a winery called Broadbent, who also makes wine in Austria and Portugal and Spain. And this is called a Vino Verde, which essentially means green wine. And it's a super light, clean, just super easy to drink, patio pounding type of a white wine. Kind of been sticking with that theme here lately because we are in the throes of July in Nebraska, 100 degrees.
Wow.
And you know, sometimes it's stuff that's dry. and just a little bit heavy. It isn't as appetizing when it's this hot. So you want something light and easy to drink.
That was the first thing that kind of struck me when you were pouring over there, is that the color. It's almost clear.
Yeah, it almost looks like water.
Yeah.
And it kind of drinks like wine water. I mean, and if you'll notice, it also has a little bit of that effervescence to it, just a little bit of spritz on the tongue. Kind of similar to what we did last week with that sparkling or semi-sparkling Pinot Gris from Oregon. Like I said, when if you're drinking Italian wines, they actually have a name for the level of carbonation. So a full sparkling would be a spumante, and a half sparkling would be a frizzante, and this would be what they call a frizzantino, which is just barely effervescent. Sometimes they just call it vivace as well, like kind of it's just vivacious.
I like that one.
I thought that was a music group, Effervescence.
It probably was.
Evanescence?
Evanescence.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I like that.
It was the wine. Blame it on the wine.
I like that vivace. What does that mean?
Vivace.
Vivace.
It just means vivacious. It's kind of lively. A little bit of spritzy.
Super easy to drink. Holy crap.
Yeah, very smooth.
Yeah. Patio pounder.
It's not
patio pounder.
I like that term.
I like that word.
Yeah, it's very easy.
This is a wine.
I'm going to use that from now on. Patio pounder.
It's a wine that you drink. I mean, you don't really sip on it. It's like you can actually take a drink.
You can, yeah.
And these come in.
Yeah, you can take it to the face.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah,
it has no bitter taste. Like it is.
No.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Nothing where you got to do
like I like it.
Yeah.
I said, I like it.
It's not so dry that it makes you pucker.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's 9%, but it's also not sweet. It's kind of what we would call an off dry, where it's not really dry. It's not really sweet either.
They need to put those on the airport, in the airplanes, like that.
Yeah, that would be all
the
right.
whole bottle.
Would be good.
Yeah, the whole bottle
in the airplanes, because sometimes in the airplanes they give you those really hard dry cabs or.
Yeah, those things come out of little plastic, bottles, right? So if they did full size bottles of Vino Verde, like when they pour your Coke in a cup, and you're like, can I have the rest of the
Coke? Yeah. So you said this is a Portuguese wine. Is there anything different about Portuguese wine other than like more common?
Well, they have grape varietals that only they use in Portugal.
Okay.
So there's one called Touriga Nacional. There's one called oh gosh, I'm having a brain cramp.
I have that all the time.
Glera is another one, and so these are grape varietals that you only see out of Portuguese wine, but they are still part of the traditional species of grape. It's called Vitis vinifera, which is like Chardonnay is part of that, Cabernet is part of that, Merlot, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Noir, Malbec. Those are all part of that same species of grape, the Vitis vinifera. But those ones in Portugal, even though they're part of the same family, they're unique to Portuguese wine.
Wow, very cool. Awesome. What is a bottle of this?
These go for $13.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Guys,
how come that wasn't drinkable. Listen, East Stricky supports the cause.
He does. Yeah. He does.
I love Kevin Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Mm-hmm. Not only is he what was that thing where they had the you did the hair for men?
Yeah, just for men.
Just for men, right? Okay,
yes,
just for men.
Yes.
See, it's just for Cork and Bottle. Because not only do I support, he is also a client. He's also a client.
Okay, so we put together a box for I called him Strix Picks.
Strix Picks.
He let me know what he liked, so I put in some of the stuff that was on his list, and also curated some things that weren't on the list based on what he had. So,
can we get Nick's picks? I mean, it rhymes. It rhymes.
Yeah, Kevin, tell him what Strix Picks is for the week. We might do that every now
Nick's
and
picks. I mean, what is going on here?
No,
Nick's picks.
It's a Strix show, Nick.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Listen, this is for everybody here, because maybe what I'll do every week, not every week, every twice, because I'll be drunk. Every other week, let's do a Strix pick, and then you guys reach out to Kevin's Meyer, Cork and Bottle.
Ask for Strix pick.
And ask for Strix pick.
Cool. Yeah. I like that idea. So first one is called Les Mistral, and that's the name of the wind that blows through the French Rhone Valley. And this is done by a guy by the name of Joseph Phelps, who actually happened to pass away about 5 years ago. But he wanted to make a wine that emulated that region. So he had a specific set of vineyards in Monterey County. And the big blend is called Grenache Syrah Mourvedre, or GSM, and it goes well with everything. This wine's currently on sale for $22.99. I think it drinks like a $50 bottle, and that was a new one that Strick hasn't had.
$50 bottle. This was fancy.
Ferrari Carano.
Ferrari.
This guy's
Got it.
billionaire, made his money in casinos.
Yes.
The winery is a passion project for him. I think these ran you in the mid 30, low 30s, something like that. But
Strick's picks.
Again, it drinks like a $60 bottle. And if the guy were anybody else, it probably would be a $60 bottle. So then we have another one called La Posta Pizzella Malbec. And this is from Argentina.
Argentina.
Manu Ginobili helped out with that?
Italian family. But in
Manu
Argentina.
Ginobili.
And then we have Stoller Family Estate Willamette Valley Pinot Noir, all estate grown, meaning that they grow their own fruit. They don't source grapes from anywhere else, but so it has their fingerprint on it from start to finish.
Yes.
Then we have another one called Ken Wright Cellars, another Pinot Noir from the
Top of the
Willamette
line
Valley.
wine right there.
It is top of the line. I think he's one of the best producers in Oregon. And then Loscano Grand Reserve Malbec. Again, from Argentina, Uco Valley, some of the highest elevated vineyards in the world. They're up close to 8,000 feet. Normally, the weather's too volatile at that height, but their piece of land has this sort of thermal inversion that a lot of times the volatility just goes around them, so they can grow grapes at that altitude where other people can't. So,
well, okay,
that's why I chose what I chose.
Question for you before we leave. Okay, so obviously I haven't done this in the last couple weeks. I know screw tops don't always mean cheaper wine, right? How
Correct.
long does like a wine like this last after you open it and break the seal?
Any of these I would drink within 3 days.
Okay.
Unless you use some other preservation method, like
I have that.
They have pumps.
I have that.
And we also sell a gas.
It filters it. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a pump.
We have a gas that it's inert gas. It's argon, nitrogen, and CO2. It replaces the oxygen and preserves the wine. If you do that, then you can probably go back, a couple weeks later, and it's fine.
All right, remind the folks what we're drinking. Claytonia John says, "What is the wine y'all are drinking?"
It is called Broadbent Vinho Verde from Portugal, $13. Patio Powder, 9% alcohol, and Cross Strain Dad Jokes Hazy IPA from good old Papillion, Nebraska.
In the tall girl can.
In the tall girl can.
And both those very excellent, very, very drinkable. So go out and get those from Myers Cork and Bottle. Thanks again, Kevin, for jumping in on Thirsty Thursday.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thank you.
All right, there he goes. We are approaching, of course, Shootout with Strick here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to call in 402-464-5685. The first to do so will have a chance at $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. And Strick's a little tipsy, so you're going to have a chance to beat him here. Coming up, give us a call, 402-464-5685. That's coming up next. Shootout with Strick on the Block.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says, thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancene.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln, and has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game! It's all about the game and how you play it.
It is all about our game show here on the block. It is time for Shootout with Strick. Give us a call, 402-464-5685, for your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All you have to do is beat a tipsy Strick as he comes off Thirsty Thursday at our game show. You just it's pretty easy. It's either or, so you can't be too wrong. The final question is open-ended, but it's worth 2 points. That's the whole point of the game. So call in right now, 402-464-5685, and get your shot at $15 bucks to Buffalo Wings and Rings, and go and get yourself some chicken tonight, because there's nothing wrong with that.
Chicken and wine is so fine.
There you go. You're gonna get a little bit more tips. You got a whole nother glass there. That is a patio pounder, as we know.
Patio pounder. That's a new word, and Strick is stealing that and copywriting that one. Patio pounder. Yes.
All right, we've got Hayden on the line. Hayden, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. It's nice to hear from you. If you're not tipsy, then you have probably a leg up on Strick here.
We'll see.
All right, we'll see. We'll get Strick going first. I'm
already going.
Today's trivia is Nebraska's listed positions. Again, the roster came out today. They switched some of the positions around, so we'll jump into that. Maybe some of the lesser known Huskers. Some of them are well known, but we'll see here. Okay, are you ready, Strick?
Yes.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Caleb Tanner is listed at what position? Edge or defensive line?
Edge.
He is edge. That's 1 point. Jamari Butler is listed at what position? Linebacker or edge?
Linebacker.
He's actually edge. Brody Belt is listed at what possession? Running back or wide receiver?
Wide receiver.
He is a wide receiver. James Carney is listed at what position? Wide receiver or tight end?
Tight end.
That is correct. That's 3 points. And what number is Casey Thompson wearing this year?
12.
It is actually number 11.
Oh,
so you finished with 3 points.
Yeah.
If you saw one game with him, it'd be burnt into your head. But that's always the fun part of the opening game, right? Is you're like,
wait, is that
over
under?
I think I know
That's
who that
over
guy is.
under.
That's not over under. I'm sorry. That's just the Moneyball question. So you got 3 points. Let's head over to Hayden. Hayden, you just need 3 to tie, 4 to win. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go in 3.
Wait, Hayden's on the Google. I already know it. Hayden's already on the Google machine.
Hayden, promise you're not looking this up on Google.
I'm not looking it up on Google.
All right, there we go. That's all we can do, Strick. I'm sorry. That's all we can do to test it. All right, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Kane Williams is listed at what position? Defensive back or nickel?
Defensive back.
That is correct. Jaleel Martin is listed at what position? Nickel or defensive back?
Nickel.
It is actually defensive back. Luke Reimer is listed at what position? Edge or linebacker?
Linebacker.
That is correct. Garrett Nelson is listed at what possession? Edge or linebacker?
Linebacker.
He's actually edge. For the win, what number is Quentin Newsom wearing this year?
2.
Quentin Newsom is wearing number 6, actually.
No.
So Strick actually is going to hold on to the win there and beat you 3-2. Thanks for calling in and playing today, Hayden.
Great game, Hayden. You had me nervous.
There you go. Don't give up now, but go ahead and hang up now, because instead of winning that way, you can win by being caller number 3. Caller number 3 right now, 402-464-5685. We'll get $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on behalf of, not a sober Strick, as he wins here today.
He's on fire.
You are on fire. We got to see if I can find that too, because you did get on fire.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire today. And it's Tipsy Thursday. Oh, wait. Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday, not Tipsy Thursday.
Wrong word.
But it is when in Rome, I suppose.
Hey, but listen, though. He gave me a good fight. Hayden came in the game. He was shooting. He came in firing from threes, and I was like, yo, man, I can't stop this cat right now. And then I hit him with his foot was on the line. No. Winner.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, now we got some problems on the stream here. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. I don't think we can. Sorry, we can't play your on fire thing unless you be quiet for a second. Don't say anything for a second. Yeah, we're not going to do it. I don't know. We got to figure that out.
Shoot.
But you're on fire. So congratulations.
We know it.
Yeah, we know you're on fire. We'll figure that out. I think maybe something's open on the other computer. So we'll work on that during the break and get rid of the echo. That only plays if we try to play the Strick being on fire. But we'll fix that. We'll get back to. I kind of stuttered there. That was not an echo. That was just me stuttering. But because I heard it, I think it sounded good. All right, we think we've got it fixed here. Let's see.
Somebody should put a straitjacket on this guy. He's on fire.
There we go. A lot of work to be done just to get a 4-second clip in, but it was worth it because now Strick is on fire.
Oh, man, I'm on fire, bro. I'm hot now. I'm hot.
Let's take a quick break here on the block. And when we return, we'll jump into the 5 o'clock hour teaser again We've got former Husker Clester Johnson joining us around 5:25. We'll just kind of talk about some of the news today, though. In Husker land, only 9,000 tickets sold. I shouldn't say only, but 9,000 tickets sold on behalf of the Huskers going over into Ireland. How do we kind of feel about that? Also, many offensive linemen losing weight, other than Teddy Proska, who gained weight. What does that kind of mean, and what does that look like moving into next year? We'll talk about that as well. Coming up next year on The Block.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsuranceNE.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln. It has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Showers and thunderstorms can be expected throughout much of the morning with a flash flood watch in effect as locally heavy rainfall will be possible. Later this afternoon, topping out near 85 with northeast winds at 10. Tonight, partly cloudy, just a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms with a low of 71. And tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Ortega connoisseur, Jake Bakoven.
I like Ortega, and I like Pepper.
Coming at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach.
I win. I win.
Still celebrating, are you?
On fire. Because I win. Yes, I'm a winner. He's Strick on the Block. I am a winner, but I'm here with my partner, Boxster. It is an Stricky's Tippy type of hour at the 5 o'clock hour. We are here on the Block 93.7, The Ticket, theticketfm.com every day, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. In studio, man. How long has it been now? About 2 weeks I've been in studio.
Yeah, it feels like
forever now, right?
Yeah,
but it's been about 2 weeks. It's in the middle. Well, no, it's been about a month now.
Yeah, it feels like a little
month,
longer.
But then in and out because you were on vacation, and so I had to.
Yeah, that's.
I had to take Nate Dogg for a week and a half.
How did that go? Did that go pretty well? I never asked.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. I thought we had great engagement. I thought the text line at times was on fire.
Yeah, Nate said some crazy stuff.
Oh, man. Listen, it felt like the person that when you let me just say it like this. It felt like he was what's the guard from Minnesota that everybody, the controversial guard?
On basketball?
Yeah. Defensive guy. Patrick Beverly,
yeah.
Nick was the Patrick Beverly of On the Block, where he might just say something that'll throw you to the left and lit the text line on fire.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, it was cool. But
he got traded to the Jazz, by the way. He's part of that Rudy Gobert trade.
Oh.
Where they gave up like all the
assets
for Rudy Gobert.
Get out of here. Yeah. Right now the talk out there in the town is that Kevin Durant won't get nearly as much. Some people are throwing rumors out there basically saying that Kevin Durant to the Lakers for AD and 2 first-rounders. That's idiotic, but hey, Brooklyn may do it. I have no clue about that. I think
Brooklyn's in a tough spot. I don't know what they're going to do to get anything out of this. It sounds like Kyrie really wants to go to the Lakers one way or the other.
But anyway, we've got some things out there that we need to give away here on the block. Block, tell us about On the Block giveaway.
Well, tomorrow night, we got the Lincoln Salt Dogs and the Kansas City Monarchs, playing at Haymarket Park. 7:05 will be the first pitch, and we got 4 tickets for you and a VIP parking pass. All you got to do is win it right here. I think we'll just go. What was your number? 21? Caller number 21.
Collar number 21.
No, that's too many.
Too many. Hey, listen, I was number 6.
Oh, there we go.
In football, I was number 6, and I caught everything. So if you want to catch these tickets, if it was thrown in my area, it was caught. But if you want to catch these 4 tickets and a parking pass, be the 6th caller on the block, and you will get them handed over to you. Well, actually passed over to you, like Casey Thompson's going to be passing to some great receivers this year.
There we go. Yeah, call in right now. 402-464-5685. Caller number 6 in remembrance of Strick's football career will win these tickets to see some Salt Dogs baseball against the Monarchs. And of course, we've had some fun in the Salt Dogs Park recently. You were on BP with DP.
BP.
You got some good hits out there. I will say this, the second time through.
The first time was a little suspect. But it's like riding a bike, right? If you haven't rode a bike in a long time, you kind of got to just kind of figure out the balance, or skated. Like if you
skating,
skating, you used to kind of getting on. Once you get, then you get the rhythm. You start just kind of moseying around. You start hitting. Then you go a little in and out. Then you turn around and do a little backwards. That's how it was. It just felt like it was getting back.
Could you skate? Could you skate backwards?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I'm just not probably athletic enough or whatever it takes.
It's just a little sliding of the feet in and out like a duck. Just a little ducky feet.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might not have been a good way to explain it. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about the Husker meat on the inside, on the interior, have been dropping some meat, and they're no longer Husker beef, but they're Husker lean. Right now, the Husker linemen have been losing some weight. We got Henry Lutovsky, who went from 330 to 310. Trent Hickson. I can understand Trent Hickson. That's Tipsy Thursday.
Yeah.
I can understand Trent Hickson dropping from 320 to 305. And look, let's be real. He had to be watching Cam Jurgens. He's probably one of the most excited linemen right now coming in, watching what Cam Jurgens did. He's like, I need to be lean. I watched this guy on film get downfield like he was a freaking running back.
Yeah.
And so he dropped,
I watched
15 pounds.
I watched that Oklahoma game. I rewatched it the other day. He got penalized a few times for being tough, but man, was that
That's
fun
sad.
to watch.
That's so sad.
He was driving guys like 40 yards downfield.
I still think the Kenny Bell hit that they called the penalty on was one of the most ludicrous penalties, and Husker faithful will know what I'm talking about. When Kenny Bell just literally downfield laid somebody out, and it wasn't he did it right. He was head in front, laid the cat out. But anyway, it's soft in football nowadays, but these Husker linemen lean are going to be mean. So Brock Bando came in at a lean 295, under 300 from 315. Bryce Benhart dropped down from 330 to 315. And one lineman, Teddy Prochaska.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh dang it. Teddy Prochaska, he gained weight. Now, here's the possibility with that, but I'm going to let you talk first, and I'm going to break that down. But he went from 305 to 320, the Elkhorn South sophomore. That is hopefully the starting, with health pending, the starting right tackle.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I mean, you have to, you have to take each one of these cases individually, and that kind of reminded me too when we talked to the Sunday Morning Pancakes crew. They were kind of saying the same thing. There's not one rule of what they're working on in the weight room that everybody's just trying to get bigger or everybody's trying to get smaller. It depends on the guy and what he's working with personally. And so that's why you see kind of Prohaska going the opposite way there is they want to bulk him up. They want to get him bigger. He's definitely athletic. He looked that type, but he did look like he was too lean with his frame. He
6'8".
Yeah, he could get bigger, get a little bigger. Yeah. And by the way, he's listed at 6'10" now.
Get out of here,
big.
Bro.
He's a young guy, still growing.
He's 6'10" now?
He's 6'10". Bryce
He needs to be
Benhart,
350, my boy.
the other
Minimum.
tackle, Bryce Benhart's listed at 6'9". So they got a couple NBA power forward centers out there.
We need to be
tackle.
Hey, we need to be moving some straight weight. I mean, there need to be holes the size, or they need to be locking down that edge the size of a freaking car.
Yeah,
with as big as those boys are.
And it's very cool. Like you said, Bryce Benhart down to 315. Maybe that can kind of help him. He was struggling last year along with Turner Corcoran at tackle, maybe leaning, getting a little bit more lean. He can kind of keep up a little bit more with those edge rushers. Prohaska, it's crazy how much belief there is. I wouldn't say belief because, I mean, you can kind of see it, right? I mean, I think Dominic Raiola I think if I remember right, Sipple told me that Dominic Raiola basically watched one quarter of Teddy Proska and said that guy's good. That guy might be a next level player. That's about all that we've seen of him, though, is he kind of dominated against Northwestern. Take that for what it's worth. Had kind of a quarter the next week and got hurt and was out for the season. And so your kind of slight glimmer of hope out there at tackle faded last season. He's the big hope, but maybe even more importantly is that maybe if he can kind of live up to expectations, that's one thing, but you still need that other side. So Bryce Benhart's got to get a lot better out there as he's expected. And then Turner Corcoran, I think the expectation
move him inside.
is to move inside.
Yes, yeah. Lord, please. Move him inside. Struggled on the outside last year, big time. I mean, I would love to see him be able to redeem himself, but I would much rather see him inside and leave that whole outside situation alone. We already have enough problems to worry about. But
it's good to have a guy that's
the versatility that can do it.
If you need a backup or a guy to spot in from time to time. But again, the tackle, Pro Football Focus, you don't have to rely on stats. You can see it with your eyes. But Pro Football Focus rated Nebraska's pass protection among the worst last year.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
There's also been a move. Brody Tagaloa happened to, at 260 pounds, was recruited as a defensive lineman in 2022 class, is now listed at 6'3", 260 pounds. And guess where he's playing? Tight end. He's moved over to the tight end side. I mean, I think it's just to create a little bit more depth. I mean, that's one of the areas that they've had a little bit of problem. I think if they want to get some running done, if he can get out there and be a good blocking tight end on that edge and maybe even catch a couple drag routes or a couple, because guys like that who is on the scouting report, when they line up, guess what most defenses are saying? He's a run blocker.
Mm-hmm.
And if he has any type of hands to where he can put his hands on balls in the red zone or something like that, I mean, you can run just some great delays with a guy like him and find him wide open in the middle, because scouting reports are not going to. I think those are good things and good looks for a guy like Brady Tagaloa.
Yeah, I'm interested. I didn't look up to see if he's got a history of playing that in college. Like you said, there's been in high school, there's a bit of a injury situation popping up there. I mean, it's good to get some more depth.
Yeah,
you wonder if is that a long-term thing, or is that just kind of where you need some depth, and you kind of figured he was behind a few of the other names at defensive line. We'll kind of see how that plays out. But a lot of these guys, we kind of think of athletes are supposed to that athlete mold as a guy that's like, all right, well, he can play running back or wide receiver. You can put him at defensive back, but the bigger guys are athletes too, and can play multiple positions. Sometimes that's hurt Nebraska in the past, where they wanted Noah Fant to be a defensive end. He doesn't want to play defensive end. He wants to be a tight end. Yeah, they've missed on that from time to time too. But here, at least, I reading it initially as a young guy, haven't seen him too much on the field, so you'd have to think this is more for depth than a ground shaking, your new starting tight end or anything. But it's of note for sure.
No question. Some of the things that's been out there, a lot of fake news. There's been some fake news out there, basically stating that Clemson and Florida State are on their way to the SEC. Fake news. But let's really be honest about it right now. There needs to be some discussion about this, because it can happen. Possibly it didn't happen as it was stated, but it can still happen. You've got to figure that teams are going to be, first of all, we've been talking about it here, that you've been looking at super teams. How big the super teams or super conferences are going to be is going to depend on a few things. How big they want to be, how fast they want to get there, what are some of the ramifications for getting there too fast, starting slow, building up to it. There's a lot of those things to consider. But when you look at the ACC, you really have to think about, is the ACC a viable conference? Why is that? It breaks down to this: big brand programs equal big television contracts. So, I tweeted today a little bit earlier, Deion Sanders had a song out called "Must Be the Money," and
Deion Sanders,
yeah, he had a song out called "Must Be the Money."
I didn't know he had a song.
Yeah, and in that, we're looking at these super conferences, and it basically comes down to, it must be the money. The Big Ten and SEC basically are bringing in, right now as we speak, without any additions, $80 to $100 million a year, according to reports, right? So the big brand programs, the additions of big names, your Notre Dames, the additions of a Florida State in the football realm. See, right now we're talking football. Basketball right now is not moving the needle in any fashion.
It's just
right?
not as much money.
It's just not there in the same mass in the money. So football is moving the needle. Pac-10, USC, and UCLA landing of that LA market could shift the Big Ten definitely towards the, close to the $1 billion range potentially. 500 million to $1 billion. I'm just gonna lay that on the line. Those two market additions. If the SEC lands a Clemson and a Florida State, you could possibly looking at them kind of going up into that same range. So I've got to think that the big brands and the big markets, your Florida State, Miami, Clemson, North Carolina, you get basketball with North Carolina too, but I just don't think the SEC will take that. I think they're looking more to the football aspects with Florida State. Rumors are that maybe Miami may not want to go right now. Rumors, that's allegedly, but they could be open to being landed. But I think Clemson is the closest to going to the SEC right now. I think the reason being is, again, it's the money. ACC right now, they only land about 40 million. Pac-12 schools without LA is only at about 30 million. So you're talking about a 60 to 80, just right now as it sits, 60 to $80 million discrepancy. So that's why I don't think the ACC can keep it going.
Yeah, it's interesting too because their rights, a lot of the television rights are through ESPN, who also has the television rights of SEC coming up. So you might be able to kind of have an easier pathway. You still have the land of was it the Grant? I'm thinking on the land of Grant Trophy.
Yeah,
but the Grant land rights or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
Rights where they got to pay basically almost $100 million in fees.
Yeah, to get out of the conference until 2035, I believe. So you kind of got a waiting period there. But the reports are, I mean, at this point, that's just kind of where we are. It was that report from SwimSwam, which is like apparently covers, swimming, but they only have like 5,000 followers. Somehow it blew up. And not just somehow, it's because it's believable at this point. Like that seems like the next logical move for the SEC. If they're saying, okay, we made our move, the Big Ten responded. Now it's our turn. Let's make our move as we continue toward these super conferences. There's a possibility that this stays at 16. But the I guess what everybody's kind of saying right now is that the Big Ten isn't out here offering Georgia Tech or Oregon and Washington who are waiting. It's all waiting on Notre Dame. That's really the big prize, and they understand that, and that's true too. I mean, if you look at the Clemsons and the Florida States and the Oregons and the Washingtons and all that, those are great brands, but they're not Notre Dame. So the Big Ten's really kind of putting a lot, you say all their apples in on Notre Dame, I suppose, which I don't know if eventually that will play out. You hope so if you're you're a Big Ten fan, because I do think the SEC eventually, I mean, the shock and awe of the Texas-Oklahoma thing has passed. I think eventually they do move in on the ACC and try to just really take over the southeastern part of the United States, which is where college football is its craziest. It's the most loyal, the most interested, again, competing with the Big Ten markets. And that's important because Big Ten has not won the same type of games on the field as the Southeastern Conference, but the care is there, the interest is there, the dollars are there. And so that can kind of continue. But I think that gets lost among the shuffle as we talk about who's grabbing this team and who's grabbing that team, especially if the ACC grabs Florida State and Clemson, particularly. You just look at the last 20 years. That's everybody. That's everybody that's winning titles outside of Ohio State 1 year and USC, back in the Pete Carroll era. But it's USC's taken quite a hit since then.
Yeah, it's not much out there, but there's a lot of money out there.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, we still don't know how it's going to play out and pan out, but we're going to keep our eyes on it on the block. We're going to have to go take a break. Coming up next, we'll have Clester Johnson join us to talk a little bit about recruiting there, Mickey Joseph, and how things were and what some of the contrast may be between him and Coach Brown and what he's been able to land thus far. We'll be right back on the block at 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, right after these messages.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
And now, poetry from the world of Yum.
You need a treat, but not something predictable. Cookies, cupcakes, apple pie, it's all boringly typical. So here's a little rule of thumb. Take that income, avoid the humdrum, and get yourself to the world of Yum. The cakes are made for any celebration, every cause of elation, alongside every occasion. So get in your car. You would be remiss not to take that drive down to Beatrice.
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of Yum.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah, we're tipping on fofos with my boy C-Bo, the ball head nut, Clester Johnson. He's got to be here somewhere. C-Bo, what up, baby?
I'm in the house.
C-Bo is in the house. We tipping on fofos. We down like four flat, C-Bo. We go a long way in this whole thing we call life.
I mean, you set it off with that Slim Thugger. I mean, I was, I was tipping on fofos with that one.
Absolutely. We will see. Look, Stricky a little tipsy on it's what we call down here. We call it Thirsty Thursday. We have a little Kevin Myers cork and bottle come through and bring a little brew, bring a little wine. So we got a chance to sip on a little something, have a little something, get the night started off right. And so we got you in the house tonight. So I'm glad that my boy C-Bo can join us. Me and Bach on the block, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Clester Johnson, former Husker, is joining us. And look, listen, I know you're not going to be the expert on this specific topic, but there are some contrasts that I may want to ask about, maybe what you're hearing out in the sphere a little bit. But right now, you had a chance to kind of get a sniff, a peek, a whiff of Mickey Joseph, how he was as a player. And did you get a chance to observe and see this quality of a person as far as a leader and to be able to do what he's done in the recruiting game and what he's been able to do, just landing now a high four-star receiver again, to go along with the rest that he's already been able to land in Amarion Miller and trying to track down, others out there in the wide receiver space. But what is your thoughts at this point of what you're seeing and what he's been able to do and what you were able to see as a young man coming also into the program as a leader from him as Mickey Joseph?
So, the thing about Mickey, he has something special, and it's called drip. A lot of people may not know what drip means, but let me just describe it for you. It's a flash, it's a flare, it's the way you talk, it's the way you walk. And the thing about Mickey, and what I've known from a long time ago, being a former Husker, when he was an upperclassman, and I was looking up to him, is he knows how to talk. He has those leadership qualities, and he has that, just that fatherly figure that when he says something, you're going to believe it. You're going to trust him. And I know that when he's talking to these, you can feel that. So I think that Mickey will just continue to have lots of success. I hope that they put Mickey in places where he's not just recruiting receivers. I mean, I think he could bring in probably a big-time QB. He could probably bring in big-time running backs. I mean, I just know he knows how to speak that language, but I'm not surprised when I see him affiliated and associated with a top recruit.
Yeah, so one of the things that's been phenomenal, right, in terms of talent, Nebraska has basically fared pretty well at the receiver position. Taking out the 2023 recruits and the commits that they have, for this moment, just in this quick discussion, the Huskers have basically averaged a receiver rating from 2018 to 2022. That's even outside of Mickey, that has been ranked fourth in the Big Ten behind Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan, which are top perennial programs in this conference, right? The difference between the Buckeyes receiver rating from second, which is Penn State, has been 0.0338. And that's a little larger margin than the fourth place Nebraska Huskers to last place Illinois at 0.293, right? So when you think about Mickey up to this point, since his arrival, his average has been 0.930 across 8 receivers. That's close to an automatic 4-star rating that he's been able to recruit here to Nebraska at this point. That's been phenomenal. So what do you think the key elements left for Nebraska to be able to do as a whole? What are some of the missing links? What are some of the missing pieces that you think, as a former player here, from when you played, when it was at its highest peak of success? What do you think some of the missing pieces or links that are needed going forward, even though Mickey's kind of started the train or running?
So that is a phenomenal question, and it is a multifaceted question. And how I would answer that is, it's just called development. I mean, when you're coming out of high school, you're not a finished product. You might be a phenomenal athlete. You may have all these great tools, but I'm going to tell you, the transition from high school to college is so different. And you can get lost in the sauce. You can get lost in the shuffle. When you look at, you mentioned how, Nebraska have had these high-rated receivers, but that has not really translated to success on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And what I believe Mickey can do is he's going to bring out the best in them, not only technique-wise, but mentally wise. And that's where I feel things have been missing. It's in the mental aspect of things, because they wouldn't recruit you if you didn't have the physical tools. I can recall myself, and even you, Strick, when you get to college, you obviously have the physical tools, but there has to be something special in you to bring that other part of you out.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just got it naturally and be triggered.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mickey more than likely is going to be able to trigger what it takes to get these guys to understand that you're not in high school anymore, and you still have to continue to work to get better, to compete, and to possibly go to that next level.
I love that. Now, this is the last question that I have, and then I'm going to allow Bach to kind of tap in, because it's kind of a carryover question. So with that in mind, you've played in a successful season. Now, we've changed we talked about earlier how they've changed some of the names, where it's changed from I-back to now running back, where you used to be split ends and wing backs, and now it's just wide receivers, so forth and so on. So some of the terminologies of the players now, it's become Nick and it's become edge rushers. So what is the contrast, or is there a contrast, or do you see a similarity between Coach Brown when you was here in his development of you as split ends and wingbacks? Although you didn't catch a lot of passes, you still were required to do so when it was called upon to do so. But that same type of leadership and recruiting quality, do you see some similarities, or do you see a small contrast?
So all great coaches, to me, have what you call an expectation level and a certain type of work ethic, a certain type of mindset. All great coaches have a very high standard, okay? And I believe that if Mickey has put all these former LSU players in the league, you better believe his expectation level and what he's seen as a developmental player going to that next level. He knows what it looks like. He knows what your mind's supposed to look like. He knows what your work ethic is supposed to look like.
Wow.
He knows, he'll just know what the package is supposed to look like. And I just think that, again, that element has been missing. There's a lot of coaches out there think that they can recruit these ready-made players and just plug them in and play. But there's a lot that goes into that. And again, Coach Brown and a guy like Mickey Joseph, who come out of that that same developmental system with Coach Osborne and Coach Brown. You know, they have an expectation level that you have to achieve before they put you out on that field. They're not gonna put you out there on that field if you're gonna embarrass yourself, your family, and the university that you represent.
So that's well said.
Clester, jumping back to your playing days, I wanted to ask real quick because I know you moved over from quarterback where you were recruited to be at Nebraska. Something that I've noticed just watching football is the jaw jacking that goes on between cornerbacks and wide receivers. Probably is more than anywhere else on the field. Did it take you some time to adjust to that coming over from quarterback?
Absolutely, because you know. But here's the contrast from when I played to now. We were more physical. Ours was based more on a physicality, blocking. You know, we really kind of had to have a block first mentality. Just like Strick said, I wasn't really called upon to catch a ton of passes, although I was the leading receiver on the 95 team with like 26 catches. But
say that.
Ours was really more about being physical. And when called upon, you better catch the ball, because if you drop the ball in our system, that's like dropping 4 passes. Because you may not get another pass. So, the difference is, obviously, the game has transitioned more to a passing game. You can't really be as physical on defense anymore with the receivers. I would have loved to have played today's system. But you know, it is what it is. I came away with championships.
Yeah, and a leading receiver at that. So there's that. I also I just that switch though too, because we had one today where Brody Tagaloa is switching, or at least on the roster it happened today. I'm sure he knew about it before now, but switching kind of from his defensive line position over to tight end. How does that conversation go, and kind of what goes into that when they asked you to move from quarterback and over to a new position? Is it just anything to help the team, or is it just kind of, I mean, because you got to be thinking all the way leading up to that, you're trying as hard as you can to improve in that position?
Yeah, let me answer that question, because I don't feel like I answered it to a receiver. Yes, as a quarterback, it's a little bit more finesse, okay? And it's knowing about everybody's position, making sure everybody's in the right place. Whereas a receiver, it's more about knowing coverage, and it's knowing about, what moves you have to make based on what the defense is giving you. And, of course, it's definitely a different mindset. You know, as a quarterback, it's just a lot more to know. And I would say that's probably why I switched, is because, you know, quarterback was just getting in the way of my social life when I was in college. I just had to study too much.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to get out there and hang out with my man Strick from time to time. You know, but you couldn't do that playing Q. I wasn't smart enough to do that at QE. But, so the conversation for me was, I was very frustrated at the time because, again, I was not very mature. When I came into the system, I wasn't really ready to take on the challenge of knowing all the things I needed to know to be successful at that position and compete. And my frustrations was really self-inflicted. So when offered another position to play, you know, I went from actually DB and transitioned to wingback. After doing a spring at defense, I knew that wasn't the place I wanted to be. I really am a natural offensive player, I thought. Mm-hmm. So going to wingback was really the next best place, which is obviously a slot receiver.
Big facts.
You know, the wingback in our system was really kind of the main guy because he got to line up in the backfield, slot, and on the outside. Same position Johnny Rodgers played, same position Tyrone Hughes, and so a lot of great players played in that position. So it was an honor for me to take on that challenge. And after getting my butt kicked by Coach Brown and him getting in my head, I was able to start picking it up.
That's good stuff. He's Clester Johnson. He's joined us here on the block at 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Clester, thank you, man. We look forward to hopefully having you again when football season comes back around.
Absolutely. For my man Strick, my brother, my ace, whenever you need me, I'm here for you.
My man, 50 grand. Thank you for joining us once again. This is theticketfm.com, and it is On the Block. We got to take a break right now. We'll be back to finish up the last segment here on the block. Right after this, maybe talk a little bit about the big three, maybe. When we get back, we'll be right back.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
And now, poetry from the world of Yum. You need a treat, but not something predictable. Cookies, cupcakes, apple pie, it's all boringly typical. So here's a little rule of thumb. Take that income, avoid the humdrum, and get yourself to the world of Yum. The cakes are made for any celebration, every cause of elation, alongside every occasion. So get in your car. You would be remiss not to take that drive down to Beatrice.
Check out Grandma's Root Cake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of Yum.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Showers and thunderstorms can be expected throughout much of the morning with a flash flood watch in effect, as locally heavy rainfall will be possible. Later this afternoon, topping out near 85 with northeast winds at 10. Tonight, partly cloudy, just a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms with a low of 71. And tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. Norris girls soccer midfielder and soon-to-be senior Reese Borer has committed to play college soccer for Nebraska. As a junior this past season, the midfielder scored 10 goals and passed for 11 assists while helping to lead the Titans to a state championship match. In the American Legion Baseball Senior Division, Nebraska City defeated Auburn 6-0. Hickman defeated PPA Prime 8-4. Clover, Wisconsin defeated Omaha Gross 9-3. Hickman beat Between the Lines 5-0. And Nebraska City defeated Syracuse 10-4. With 10 offers already, Danny Kalin's recruitment shows no sign of slowing down. The Bellevue West 2024 quarterback is one of the state's top prospects already for the class with 10 offers. Kalin plans on making a decision in the winter. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Milford, Beatrice, and Lincoln.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A big honor has been bestowed upon the 49ers offensive tackle Trent Williams. He is the first offensive tackle to be ranked 99 overall in Madden. It's called the 99 Club. People get pretty excited about it and work toward that in the NFL. So congratulations to him. Strick, it makes me wonder, did you ever play with yourself on those games? Did you ever pay attention to the ratings, or did any of your teammates? Was it bothersome to some?
I think I was a little shy, so I really didn't do it.
Never
I didn't play with myself. I did look into it. I think I was maybe around 80 or so or above. But the thing was, no, I've talked to people that have said they played with me, and they were like, I was tight. Like,
yeah, you were a good player.
They were like, I was good. Like, I can hit. I'd hit threes, and I could play in D and, get steals. And they said it was, they would put me on their starting team and stuff. So I was like, word? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now, were you if you were ever in any games in Nebraska? Obviously, it would be number 21 or whatever your name. If you were in a game in Nebraska,
I don't know if I was ever in that, but I know I sure played. One of the games I hated, Bach, that went out was NCAA college. It ended. I want to think when they started having the conversations about name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
That's when it ended. Like EA had to stop making it. I want to say it was like maybe 2011 or
it was like 2014.
2014.
Yeah.
I used to love that game. It was like I got hyped just picking me a team and running them up and being in the top 25.
Oh yeah,
and doing all of that. And recruiting and trying
to. It was fun. Yeah.
That was fun, bro. But yeah, no, I didn't have a basketball version. I didn't ever play a basketball version.
They had part of the problem too is they had like a basketball version and they didn't seem to put too much into it. It wasn't very good.
It was kind of
Yeah. So that's part of it. But like some players for like 2K especially, like Gerald Green, there's certain players that are like okay on the court, but like Gerald Green could be your franchise runner. He could be your best player in 2K for some reason for years and years and years. I think it's because of his athleticism. So they have to give him like the athleticism in the game, which kind of might have been helped your character too. Is like you have to give him athleticism. And then from there you could kind of play with it.
Yeah, play with it. Yeah, no, it was actually pretty cool. I've actually heard. I couldn't find myself playing for myself.
Yeah,
You know,
kind of weird. Like I
it
can go
was
play.
weird. Like, yeah,
I can go play outside and I'm playing with me.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I don't think I was narcissistic like that. I think I was pretty just kind of humble.
Did you have teammates that got into the ratings or were mad about their ratings? Because that's also one thing.
There were some teammates that got kind of salty about their ratings.
You look at your speed and you're like, come on, I got better speed than that.
Yeah, I know. Jay wants to get in.
Yeah,
he's trying to get in on this because I know he's played with himself. I know that.
Yeah, he was playing on Madden, upset about his speed.
Definitely with Houston.
Yeah,
you know,
we're talking about Jay Foreman. He's in the other room. We got a meeting coming up here, so all the personalities are coming together here at the ticket. But yeah, we'll welcome
you know,
Jay Foreman.
You know Jay Foreman. You know you was playing yourself.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I was playing. You want to hear how serious I took my Madden rating?
Yeah.
And so like I played a little bit my first year, so I didn't really care. Then I starting right, and then so I end up having a decent career in Houston.
Oh yeah.
One of my boys that I was playing golf against, and we was in like a little grudge match. We were playing for like $15, but then it came down to like the last hole. How you want to know how he got in my head? He was like, Jay Foreman, you had 700 tackles, this, and this. He's like, but your Madden rating. He's like, your coverage ability was this, and your speed was such. You really wasn't that good. Hey, brother,
it messed your whole game
up, man. And every time I talk to him, I start wolfing. He goes right back
to that Madden rating.
Right.
See, that's why I'm glad I stayed out of that, man, because I didn't want to have to.
Did you look every year? Were you trying to see, like, would you look at it and be like, what? My speed's better than this. What is this?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Because then, but see, like when I was like after my 5th year, and I've been playing pretty, decent. I mean, it was alternate for the Pro Bowl. Then they had this football card, and then on the back they had like the ratings and stuff like that. And then he caught that one, and the strength was low.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bad one. Yeah.
And that's another one he added on to it.
Yeah, like a brother just weak, man. I was like, oh man. I went right to the weight room too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Jay Foreman.
That's those ratings can get in your head, I'm sure. That's what I've always kind of thought about. Well, thank God for you, Jake. You stayed away from it.
I stayed away from it, man.
Or maybe it would have helped you with that. I'd like that strength one.
Yeah. Got in the weight room a little bit more.
A couple more stories we hit as we're getting out of here. So just quick responses here. Devin Booker on the 2K cover as we stick with the video games. What do you
Kardashian
think?
curse and video. Yeah. He's got a double curse on him.
He's got a curse coming, so that's not going to be good. Maybe he'll be traded. Aaron Rodgers finally got a tattoo, and it has lions in it. Do you think Detroit Lions fans should think about that or think any way about that?
Leave that one alone.
That's kind of
weird.
He's
basically like he's going with his lion heart. You know what I'm saying?
He thinks he's a lion himself.
Yeah.
But I would feel kind of weird about that. A couple Alabama championship rings. The guy transferred from there. Now the rings are at the Pawn Stars. You ever watch Pawn Stars?
I've watched Pawn Stars.
You might be able to find some
I
Alabama
think they may
rings
go
in
for a little bit of something.
Yeah, so that's not too bad either. And Paulo Banchero's Summer League debut. You think he'll be a better rookie than Chet Holmgren?
Negative.
Nah, not going to happen. Well, we'll see tonight if he has at least an impressive debut. But that'll wrap it up for On the Block Ticket Weeknights. Coming up next.
There's nothing quite like the